downloaded the particular data set, and I'm just going to essentially add this to the map here. I'm going to once again right-click on it, add to current map, and that particular table, that .csv table, has been added. Then what you're going to do is you're going to right-click on it, and it's going to see Display XY Data. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to do all the hard work right now. So instead of going in meticulously and drawing every single dot where it's supposed to be, the computer's going to do it for us. And so it's going to create a particular new name here. So essentially what we guys is leave everything else as is. I'm not going to complicate things, just leave everything as is. So essentially what's going to happen is the X field is just going to be the longitude, which is included in the table, and then the latitude is going to be the Y field. So go ahead and click on OK, and 2 minutes later-ish, you should see some things on your screen. All right, in my case, it created this particular pattern here, in which we have these three, looks like raindrops. Yours might be just circles. We'll go in and change the symbology later. But knowing what I know, one of these is the one we want. And so this top left one up here is the one we want. So let's go ahead and we're going to zoom in to this blob, let's say. All right. Okay, maybe in your case you don't need to, but I'm going to change the symbology. I don't like that one at all. So I'm just going to do, let's see, I'm going to choose a circle. That's probably too big, so I'm going to go to the properties. Make the size, let's do, I don't know, 4. How's that? Much better. That's of no particular interest to what we're doing here. So go ahead and go back to our objective. And so we've got our dots, and this should look like you see there the screenshot from the assignment. Okay, that's great. Now we want to separate these from those other dots. And so here I'm going to do the select option. And I've got different ways in which I could select. I'm just going to do a rectangle, and I'm just going to copy all of them, and then do what we've done beforehand. Go back over here, right-click on it, selection, and make a layer from the selected features. Go ahead and get rid of the other one, and now I have just what I want. So to zoom to layer, boom. All right, so I have now the table I want. The particular data I want. So essentially what I've done is I cleaned up this data set. I got rid of those outliers, those things that we do not want. So I use GIS to do that. Now we're going to change the name. Go ahead and right click, go down to properties, and we'll change this to Indie Crime 2019. Go ahead and leave everything as is. Click on OK. Now we're going to export this map so that we can then use it somewhere else. To do that, we're going to have to create and export it as a shapefile. So go up to Analysis, Tools, and then over on the right-hand side, the Geoprocessing pane should open. In the Find Tools, search for Feature Class 2 Shapefile. And you'll see it pops up right there. Cool. Our input features is our new layer. And the output folders, wherever we just have been putting our stuff for this particular assignment. Then we click Run. And now we should find those particular files, the Indie Crime, all the shape files in our folder. Go ahead and save your map, and we'll move on to Arcgis Online. All right, what we're going to do to get to our next step is we have to essentially compress our shape files. So what to do here is to right-click inside the box, New, Folder. We'll call this Indie Crime 2019. Then highlight all of these files, put them into that particular folder, right-click, compress to zip file. Good, that's what we want. Now go to Arcgis Online, sign in, and to do so, make sure we go to this second box, this bottom box, and type IU. Go ahead and click Continue, and then you'll enter in your IU credentials like you do for everything else on campus. At the top, you should see these. Go ahead and click on Content, New Item, Your Device, or wherever. Get that particular zipped folder. We want to leave everything else as is, but make sure shapefile is what we see there. Click Next. All good there. Click Save. Now Now go to Open in Map Viewer Classic. Go down and choose the location single symbol if it's not already shown. Now go back up, choose Analysis, Summarize Data, Aggregate Points. You want the top file to be Indie Crime 2019. We're going to choose the hexagon, click on hexagon, and 1.5 is what we're asked. So essentially what we're doing here is we're taking this particular point data and we're going to create on top of that a layer that shows the hexagons at 1.5 mile distance from each other. And so kind of to account for size. So if I wanted to have a smaller hexagon, I would just make this a smaller number, and if I wanted a bigger, of course, make it bigger. Leave everything else as is, do run analysis. From here, you want to center and zoom your map around, kind of put it where you like it, so that our nice display scale. We don't want to be way out here, we don't want to be in here too far, we want to have a nice display scale. So display scale is kind of that preferred view wherever we think it looks the best. Go ahead and you'll want to save your map and then share it. And make sure Indiana University is checked. That way I can see your map. And then for this one, all you have to do is just copy and paste this into the submission there in Canvas.